Hey everybody, this is Dean Jacobs coming to you from my office, live from my office here in Fremont, Nebraska. Day number 4 of the live Facebook challenge broadcasting that I gave to myself the other day. I just decided there was enough negative narrative going on with airways. There must be something we can do about it, or I'm just not going to sit back and do nothing about it. You all know what I mean by that, right? So I thought I would give myself a challenge and do a live Facebook broadcast every day for the next 30 days. We may even go longer than that because we got them more than 30 cards in this deck, but a good place to start. It seems manageable to me. And now the reason why I'm doing this is just to remind us that we're not here to get trapped in little boxes, are we? We're to stretch and blow those boxes up. Because on the other side of that wall of fear, there's a whole world waiting to be explored. If we let that wall of fear stop us, we get trapped here. And it's pretty hard to find the answers that we're looking for when we have a very limited perspective. Because what we're looking for is in the outside world. That's how we're going to find the answers that are going to support us to move down the pathway of living a life of wonder. If we're looking for the answers in the same old way, we're going to come up with the same old solutions that are not going to move us forward in a very empowering way. There's the old story as it goes. The young boy says to the elder grandfather, says, "Grandfather, I feel like I have two wolves that are always fighting inside me. Which one wins?" And the grandfather turns to him and says, "Well, my grandson, the wolf that wins is the one that you feed." So we want to make sure that we're feeding the good wolf on the inside of us that will allow us to feel empowered and be engaged and know that we can do something about moving the world forward and taking responsibility in our part. The way that we do that is to be responsible for what we feed our brain. Because it's so easy to get caught up in the chaos that's going on in us right now. So if we don't really take the time to pause and implement some good habits to help us stay grounded so we can be clear and make good choices and decisions based on a grounded place versus being a frantic place, the sky is falling, your hair is on fire, and you're running around in circles place, it's a lot harder to make a good good place from that. All right? So I got people asking me on Instagram. I'm going live on Instagram next, okay? I do 3 lives. When I said I was new live, I have my personal page, I have my fan page that, because I don't have any more room on my personal side, because they limit you to 5,000 people. I didn't understand all that. And now I also do Instagram. So if you know someone who could benefit from this, for their mind and their heart, please share it with them. You just might make their whole day. Like my day was all made today when a young elementary student here in Fremont, Nebraska, I was going for my walk because my exercise does not stop just because the YMCA is closed. Come chasing me down and say, "Hey, Dean Jacobs, I'm your biggest fan," which is just totally makes my day so sweet. And we talked for a moment and we did an elbow bump, and then we reminded each other that we're not going to let this dreams sidetrack our. We're not going to let these viruses sidetrack our dreams. We're going to continue to march forward because dreams are not for special people. They're for everyone. So a thumbs up to that. And by the way, thumbs up. That's our symbol for making the world better, right? Instead of just sitting here randomly hoping something might change, thumbs up to all of you who are doing something proactively to make a difference. So thumbs up to all of you because we are not here just to go through the motions. We're here to make the world what? Better. So all right. The empowering question for today, randomly sealed in a mayonnaise jar since 8 o'clock this morning. I'm still waiting for someone to explain, put in the comment section what that means. That's a very old statement. You have to be old to understand that statement. Maybe ask your parents or your grandparents as far as that goes. What is Dean Jacobs talking about when he says it was sealed in a mayonnaise jar on their front porch since 8 o'clock this morning? Okay, empowering questions. The empowering question for tonight is, what is my life like wouldn't this be nice, huh? What is my life like when it is in balance? I know that's backwards. I haven't figured out how to do the other thing around. Hello, Kathy Mann. How's everything in Huxley, Iowa? The question for tonight is, what is my life like when it is in balance? When it's in balance. Good question. Well, there's different areas of our life where we work on balance, right? We work on balance emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally, right? Emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. In any of those areas, it's really hard. It can be easy to get out of balance really fast. And sometimes we do. we intentionally get out of balance because we have to focus on something and getting a project done. So we put a little extra effort and oomph to push it through and to get it done, or if there's something that's really important. But if we continue to do that ongoing over a period of time, then we do get out of balance. We get out of balance, and you can start to feel it. I always say I start to list. You know what I mean? List. I start. I'm out of balance. I'm starting to listen, because if I don't take the time to nurture the spiritual part of me, the mental, and the emotional part of me, and I'm just working only on the physical, getting some things done in the physical world, I get out of balance, and then I'm not as grounded. So the benefit of being in balance, what is my life like when it's balanced? I'm more grounded when I'm in balance. I have more clarity. I have more calmness. Who wants a little more calmness these days, right? Couldn't we all use a little more calm? And that's because right now we're putting too much energy, emotional energy, onto the negative narrative, getting caught up in things that we don't have any control over. Whoa, all right? So if we don't have control over these things, why are we spending so much time and energy invested into like every moment? And I'm not saying to put your head in the sand and to be Pollyannish about it, but every moment of every day is not going to change anything. So you got to make sure that we're that we're taking consistent actions on the projects and the dreams that will move the needle forward on the things that are really important to you. I don't know what those are. You know what they are, though. I'll bet you know what they are and what you could be doing consistently over time that will give you a sense that you get some movement. The other thing, when you start to think, all right, how do I put myself, if I'm out of balance, how do I put myself a little more back in balance? I love that question, because that means you start to take responsibility for what you're doing with your time and your energy. And especially right now, where we feel like we've got all these things that are out of our control and we're at the effect of the world, but you don't have to be at the effect of all that. That doesn't mean it won't affect us, right? But you don't have to be at effect of all that. And one of the ways you can put yourself back into balance is to say, all right, I'm going to be aware, but I'm not going to let it suck me in with every moment of everyday 724 negative narrative news, because all that does is suck the energy out of your soul and leaves you feeling helpless and hopeless. You can't be there. The world needs you to step up. The world needs you shining bright. The world needs you doing your part to make sure that you're staying consistent, you're taking consistent action, taking care of yourself so you can deliver the goods, to stay, to make a contribution for your family, your community, for yourself, to make it better, right? To make it better. So, if you feel like you're out of balance with this negative narrative, what are some things? What are 1 to 2 things that you could do to put that back in balance? I know for me personally, I like to know what's going on in the world, because I'm a worldly guy. I've been through 58 countries, but right now I've actually cut back on my news consumption, and I find that really helps me. It helps me. I got more peace, and I'm more calm, and I'm thinking about. And that actually, you know what that also just occurred to me? It helps free me up to find energy so I can find new creative ways to inspire kids to have more hopes and dreams. If my attention, my focus is on these other things, I'm not going to have the bandwidth, the energy to generate, to self-create things that will help inspire us to live better. If if my attention and my energies got sucked away in something that's not going to make any difference at this point. Does that make sense? So putting my life back in balance. What's my life like when it's in balance? It's more grounded, it has more peaceful, and there's always going to be a certain amount of struggle. So you can let go if you don't think there's any struggle. If you're not struggling along the way, that means you're playing small, and we don't need you playing small. We need you playing big right now, so that way we can all make our contribution. We need you dreaming big. We need you living tall. We need you making the world better, so we can all march down that pathway together, living a life of wonder. And that's how we're going to get through this together. All right, I hope this has served you a little bit tonight. If you has served you, give me a thumbs up. I would love to hear what your life is like when it's in balance. And if it's out of balance, what do you do to put it back in balance? I would love to hear those. Share those on the comments below so we can socialize our learning process together. You may just offer somebody an idea that I didn't talk about that will serve them, that they didn't think about, that might help them to get back in balance too. And how cool would that be? All doing our part to watch out for each other and take care of each other. And then if there's someone in your world who you think might benefit from listening to this, share it with them. I'm going to save it onto my fan page, Dean Jacobs Adventures. I'm also putting it onto my YouTube channel, The Dean of Travel, and then I'm reposting on my blog because people tell me they're getting a lot of value out of it. If they are, I want to make sure they get access to it. So that way we can pound a little good positive energy into our brains and into our hearts. And hopefully I have a little bit of energy here for the eyes that we can be reminded that we're not just going to shut down, but we're going to do our part to make the world better. All right, blessings and light and love to wherever this may find you. I know that we're going to get through this together. Not only we're just going to get through that, we're going to get through it, and we're going to become better as a result of it because of the choices that we make with this, and then as a result of that, the actions that we take down the pathway of living a life of wonder. All right, you guys have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to try and make it earlier. It's a little bit late. People, it's almost 10:30. I'm behind schedule, but better late than never. All right, you guys have a good night. We'll be in touch. Bye-bye.